Hello, my name is Ola, and I'm directed to Console Gaming on the Go by Scott the Waz. This was recommended to me by Christopher McBride. Thank you for the recommendation. And yeah, see what Scott has to say about portable gaming. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe my channel, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Here we go.
Hey all, Scott here. I hate walls. Why do I live here? Have you ever realized there's a reason for these things to exist? That's right, you haven't, because there isn't any. But for some reason, the wall companies have a monopoly on console video games. It's just the reality we live in now, the way God intended. Super Nintendo cartridges must be played indoors.
Yeah, that's right, God.
You know what was the coolest thing ever? Playing a game in an environment you couldn't normally play that game in. This is f***ing incredible! I'm talking taking games you can only play on the TV from a home console that only worked when plugged into an electrical socket and making them playable on the go. See, I loved my Game Boy Advance, but whenever I'd pick up a game for the handheld that also released for the GameCube, for some reason, I would think, oh my god, it'll be just like playing the GameCube game on the go! Oh, this is rich. In reality, it was almost always a completely different game. Portable consoles just couldn't keep up with the homegrown stuff. To be fair, a lot of home console games would eventually make it to handhelds, but they would generally be pretty old by the time they did. But that didn't stop me from wanting Super Mario Galaxy and Smash Bros. Brawl playable on my Nintendo DS. I mean, they put Super Mario 64 on the system to take the game that defined what 3D gaming would be, the game that may quite possibly be the biggest leap forward in gaming history, and make it portable. It's still a spectacle to behold. Taking things that always required to be plugged in at all times to be stationary in your home and giving you the option to take them on the go, that will always be a magical feeling. And while many games that appeared on home consoles eventually made their way to handhelds, no. I want to play the Super Nintendo version of this game, not the Game Boy Advance version of the Super Nintendo version. Look at this, it's kinda different. I don't want a portable device capable of playing versions of Super Nintendo games. I want a portable Super Nintendo. The idea of taking a home console and cramming it into something the size of a Game Boy has been around for quite a while. Sure, you could just buy the Game Boy version of that NES game, but wouldn't you rather play the NES game on the go? That was the mentality behind some of the first major home consoles to go, the Turbo Express and Sega Nomad. And with these, we can finally stay outside forever and still play console games, no looking back! The Turbo Express was a portable TurboGrafx 16. You could play the exact same game cards, though you couldn't play the games released for the console CD add-on. Now, I don't own a Turbo Express because I spent all my money on not this, but I do have a Sega Nomad. Could you tell? Yeah, this is the size of a concerning growth. It's definitely not the slimmest portable out there, but come on, considering it was released in 1995 and is a full-blown portable Sega Genesis,
Bro, it looks like a camera.
How big it is.
Look
Oh, a
at it.
Sega Genesis cartridge alone is the size of a Game Boy Pocket. Of course, the system's gonna be bulky. So to play this on the go, we're gonna need a battery pack. Damn it. Alright, I'll go inside just this once to try this thing out. After that, never again. I have to plug it into a power outlet, which at that point you may ask, what's the point of playing Genesis games on this when I could just play them on a TV? It doesn't matter, because look, I'm playing Sonic 1, but it stinks now! Playing with the battery pack would require 6 AA batteries, and they'd be drained in around 2 to 3 hours. That, or there was a rechargeable option, but overall, not the greatest battery life, and installing a battery pack would make this thing nearly impossible to shove into a pocket. Not being able to put a Sega Nomad in my pocket is my worst nightmare. But in practice, honestly, the Nomad is far better than I ever expected it to be. It plays Sega Genesis games. It is an official Sega Genesis, after all. The screen was always what I heard the most horror stories about, how it didn't age that well. And yeah, I think the biggest problem is how blurry it can get, but it's way better than many made it out to be. It's still fairly playable. And now games like Sonic, it may be a bit fast for, it gets a bit too blurry, but something like Streets of Rage works fairly well. You can adjust the brightness, which helps a ton, and you can even output the Nomad to a TV, as well as connect another controller. This truly is a Sega Genesis on the go. You just can't attach any of the add-ons, like the Sega CD or Sega 32X. I mean, who cares? What, was I really gonna play Fahrenheit on the go? Yeah. The Nomad's pretty impressive, all things considered. I mean, say what you will about the battery life and screen quality, but it's a portable Sega Genesis from 1995. That's crazy.
But what if we want a little more power with a lot less compromises? Well, say hello to the PS1 LCD monitor, a way to play your favorite PlayStation games on a portable LCD screen as long as you're connected.
One more trip inside and we can play our PS1 games portably. Released alongside the revised PlayStation model was a screen you'd attach with a couple of quarters, plug in and bam! It's honestly incredibly simple, and the screen and sound quality is excellent.
It looks like a DVD
I love how
player.
There's no extra wires, it just plugs in on the back, you plug in an AC adapter, and you're playing any PlayStation game you can think of on a mini screen. Now, of course, this isn't completely portable. You need to be plugged into an outlet at all times, but it makes bringing the system around places far easier. You can bring this to a hotel, a cottage, hell, you can get a car AC adapter and play this on the road. The screen attachment business started to start here. I mean, here's a third-party one for the GameCube, same general idea, but not nearly as well made, simply because the GameCube wasn't designed to work with something like this, the PS1 was. So we have this fun skin growth thing where we have to attach it here and attach this. I think I'm missing a piece. But I recall seeing all these screen cases for your Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 or Xbox One or PlayStation 4 where it's fundamentally a carrying case with a TV screen built inside. This way your child doesn't have to go, God forbid, a minute talking to people at grandma's. They can just bring their system with them, plug in somewhere, and keep the good times rolling. I mean, I'm guilty of this. Whenever traveling as a kid, I'd always pack up a portable DVD player in season 3 and 4 of Wings. I'd totally be set for not talking to anybody on a trip. God, these cases are overkill.
Whoa.
I understand wanting to play your console games on the go, but this isn't that far off from just bringing a TV with you places.
Yeah.
Where as a kid, I always had the desire to play my GameCube games on a road trip rather than my DS games. But come on, nobody wants to lug this around when this offers just as much entertainment. It's just kind of cool to be able to play non-portable games portably, but when that involves carrying around a 50-pound sack, the magic is gone pretty quickly.
See, but these things aren't necessarily portable. They allow you to play your favorite consoles in the corner of your bedroom rather than on the living room TV. What about stuff more in line with the Turbo Express and the Sega Nomad? Well, those things have existence on the menu tonight.
See, the technology required to make something along the lines of a Super Nintendo, more affordable and compact by the 2010s, definitely more than possible to take that and turn it into a somewhat affordable portable. That's how we got the Superboy by Hyperkin. Let's turn it on. Jeez, I can't see the screen. The sun's too bright.
Son of a bitch!
See, the Superboy was released in 2011 and is basically the SNES
They got
version
the
of the Sega Nomad.
Superboy?
Love how
Superboy?
it looks, just like a Super Nintendo controller. We pop in a cartridge and bam, we're playing Super Nintendo games on the go. Sometimes. It may be because I bought this used, but it's a bit finicky and doesn't work properly all the time. The D-pad feels a lot cheaper and more plasticky than the official Nintendo made one, but I mean, this is one of the more legitimate ways to play the official cartridges on the go. But if you really want to play Super Nintendo games on the go, I'm not really sure if you care all too much about authenticity. At this point, you might as well download these games on the 3DS or something. Similarly, we've got the Retro Duo Portable, also built to play SNES games. And the design isn't nearly as charming. It looks like the most generic possible design for video game controller with a screen. But it comes with an adapter to play NES games. Portably, portably. That reminds me, if you want to play Game Boy games portably, just attach the Super Game Boy to either one of these handhelds, and there you have it. The Retro Duo Portable actually had a fair amount of adapters made for it, so you can play games from all kinds of systems. I'd say if you wanted to play these console games on the go, this one is your best bet. But Hyperkin's still releasing new iterations of the Superboy. This one was the original release. The later models use a widescreen display that stretches out the games. Why? What was the point of this? No Super Nintendo games were widescreen. I get widescreen displays are more readily available than 4x3 displays right now, but why couldn't they have programmed these things to not stretch the games out to fill the screen? God, I am pissed at this thing I don't own. Well, if you just want a portable NES, there's this guy right here, the FC Mobile 2. Look at all this stuff it comes with. Controllers, a gun. Screen's the size of a grape. I mean, it works, but I think it's too small. Like, the screen is
Oh my god,
minuscule.
he's playing Back
NES
to the
cartridge
Future.
is twice the size of this device. I don't see any reason to try to make this as compact as possible so you can fit it in your pocket if in your other pocket you have to store NES carts in it. This sounds really rough and blown out. It just feels a bit too cheap for my liking. But if you really just have to play these games on the go, it works. Though it also smells weird, but I don't know if that's really a point to make talking about video games. So these modern retro console handhelds. They're neat, but I don't see them as anything more than a novelty. Like I said, for people that just absolutely have to play video games via the original cartridges, the retro gaming purists, wouldn't they prefer playing these on a CRT with the best picture quality possible with the original controllers and on officially made hardware and whatnot? It's still amazing to play these games via the original cartridges in the palm of your hands. I mean, that's just pretty neat. But many of these aren't the most well put together, like opening up the Superboy cartridge flap Are those wires supposed to be that visible? Jostling the systems a bit will cause glitches or freeze the games, and plus, these cartridges are so big, I can't see anybody actively thinking, finally, I can play these games portably. These cards were not meant to be taken on the road, and these systems are nothing more than a neat little thing. But what if we take more modern systems and make portables out of them? To finally be able to play GameCube and Wii games outside? Oh my god, that's the dream! Well, let's talk about these portable consoles we can play outside, but not play them because I don't have them. Look at these portable homemade GameCubes and Wiis. These are literally dreams come true. Exactly what I wanted as a kid. And these are all fan-made. You need to have an extensive knowledge on how to turn this thing into this thing. I'm telling you, I would have killed for something like this. Sure, Mario 64 DS was great, but playing either of its successors, Sunshine or Galaxy, on the go? Oh. But alas, if you want a portable N64, GameCube, or Wii, you're gonna have to shell out the big bones or have a good idea of what the hell you're doing if you want to put one together. If you want to be more straightforward with this kind of stuff, obviously you could just wait until your favorite console games get remade or ported onto handheld systems. Donkey Kong Country Returns came to the 3DS, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came to the PlayStation Vita. Sure, these are downgraded in some ways, but literally all of these portable solutions are downgraded in some ways. Yeah, the screen's smaller, the controls may be weird, it's always gonna be different. Of course, that begs the question, what about a console that, right out of the box, can be taken on the go with you? That's right. I'm talking the Wii U. You can plug your Wii U console into a power adapter and it'll still connect to the gamepad if it's close enough. That means for Wii U games you can play directly on the gamepad screen, they're about as portable as the PS1 with the LCD monitor. All you need to do is plug the Wii U in and that's it. It'll still stream video to the gamepad screen with no internet connection, nothing. I've seen dozens of people playing it at the airport or in the car. Maybe less than dozens, but still, it's possible. In the end, home console gaming, while incredible to be seen anywhere but the home, it seems like it's a bit too tailor-made for the TV. Many games like this were made to be played sitting on a couch, connected to the internet at all times, and taking advantage of the horsepower you can achieve with a fat box, not having to take a screen and battery life into consideration. Maybe console gaming was just never meant to be played on the go. Oh.
Well, that's a look at console gaming on the go. See, a lot of these things are actually pretty cool, but they have a lot of roadblocks involved, though I'm willing to look past a lot of them. With these portable home consoles, I never have to go indoors ever again!
I still believe that. Look what just happened. Can't rain indoors, the outside's amazing. That's right, f*** you, house.
That's it? Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, that's pretty crazy how, like, you know, one person came up with it, like, hey, how about you know, come up with a way to, you know, take games with you on the go, and then all of a sudden everybody else was like, oh, well, we're gonna do it too, you know, and they decided instead of making them smaller, they made them more bulky. Like one of them, you know, looks like I said, looks like a camera. Another one looks like a portable DVD player, which I used to have one of those until it broke. It didn't even last for like a year. Like it was a cheap knockoff, dude. Like, Jesus. Yeah, that was back at the time when they thought, oh, bigger's better. But of course now, like, that's not always the case, you know, especially with gaming. You know, you don't like, especially if you want to take it with you on the go. Like, you know, like, how are you gonna take it with you if it's freaking huge? Like, what? Anyway, yeah, that's my reaction to console gaming on the go by Scott Watts. Everyone take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one.